Labor Day, a well-deserved tribute to the working men and women whose dreams and hard work helped build America into the greatest nation in the world.
That helped build the greatest middle class that the world has ever known.
Wall Street did not build America. The middle class built America, and unions built the middle class.
I'm talking about the work that got us a 40-hour work week and weekends and paid leave and pensions and the minimum wage and health insurance and Social Security and Medicare, the cornerstones of middle-class security. That's because of your work.
For decades, workers have fought not only for wages, but for justice, safety, and respect. This is the story of how all workers have fought to transform the workplace one step at a time. Before factories, work in America was centered around farms and small workshops. Skilled workers created guilds, which set basic rules for wages and training, but there were no real protections, no unions, and no laws. As machines replaced hand labor, cities swelled. Factories demanded cheap, tireless labor, and that led to men, women, and children working long hours in filthy and dangerous conditions, often for only pennies. Jobs consisted of extremely long hours, with the average workday being between 12 and 16 hours, 6 to 7 days a week. Children as young as 5 and 6 years old were employed in dangerous conditions. Famous photographer Louis Hine exposed their truth, sacrificing education for survival. In 1911, the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire trapped and killed nearly 150 young women. There were locked doors and no fire escapes. Public grief quickly turned into outrage and finally led to reform. In response, workers began to organize. In 1869, the Knights of Labor united unskilled and skilled workers to demand for higher pay, better hours, and protections. Later on, with the Knights of Labor, the AFL-CIO became the voice for millions of workers. This movement of labor led to monumental victories such as the 8-hour workday, minimum wage laws, child labor bans, and health and safety standards. Movements like the Pullman Strike and Bread and Roses Strike paved the way for change and eventual federal protection. Arguably the most important government action regarding labor, the Wagner Act guaranteed employees the right to form a union, collectively bargain, and take collective action. In the post-World War II, the industrial economy dominated with large factories and labor jobs, which led to heightened labor union membership and strong bargaining. Although labor was making great progress, the Taft-Hartley Act of 1947 took a step back. It restricted union activities and allowed states to pass the right-to-work laws. This overall weakened unions. Union membership began a steady decline with automation of jobs, racial and gender barriers, and corruption and scandals found within unions. U.S. industries began to move overseas and automate, leading to mass layoffs. Union membership was at an all-time low, especially with the growth of non-union service jobs, such as retail, healthcare, and fast food jobs. Government role with unions also took a strike, as Ronald Reagan fired 11,000 air traffic controllers who were striking, a turning point that signaled the national anti-union tone in government. Over time, some unions began to support civil rights efforts and eventually create their own, such as the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. Civil rights and labor rights can also go hand in hand in speeches. The March on Washington of 1963 was composed by labor leaders and civil rights groups, most famously known for Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. The workforce in the late 1900s and early 2000s consisted of less factories and saw new appearances of office jobs and overall modernization. With the late 2010s, the new gig market of working on your own schedule, work continues to change to this day. With reasons listed before, you can see from 1983 to 2021, labor union density has decreased heavily. There's a lot to say on the worker side of a labor struggle, but what about the company side? Let's hear from Megan Greger, who works for Reyes Distributing Company in the Labor Relations Union.
From a company perspective, we have definitely seen a movement in the younger generations of embracing the union type mentality, that it is more of a collective group of individuals versus individual people working towards a common goal. A lot of policies geared towards artificial intelligence or AI that also gives employees more things at their fingertips, such as information about their benefits, things that are a part of the everyday workplace, and it increased the communication from the company to the employee regularly. From a company perspective, I primarily work with the Teamsters, and we have seen an uptick in their membership based on Sean O'Brien, who is the international president, and his presence in the media. So I believe in the private sector, we are seeing an increase in organized labor.
Labor unions are continuously adapting to our economy as it changes, and strikes continue to this day. From factories to farms, warehouses to offices, the struggles of workers may differ, but the call is the same. The future of labor is being written right now, in every protest, negotiation, and every voice that refuses to be silenced.
We know that what is good for the American worker is good for America.